There's probably no one there. No, there could be someone there. Hello. I'm just. Whoa, what's my. It's a weird angle. Maybe like that. I'm just shooting a bit of video. This actually won't take long. Oh, I didn't put my colored lights on. What was I thinking? Everything's so much nicer with pretty lights. Hey, Migalich. Hey, Luke. Right, okay, gotta do this. All right. We going? We just go? It's a short video, so it should only take about 2 minutes. G'day, cocktail lovers. Taste-wise, this is a G'day, cocktail lovers. Taste-wise, this is a pretty traditional. Oh, Jesus Christ! Why am I making that sentence so hard? G'day, cocktail lovers. Taste-wise, this is a pretty traditional dry martini, but it's this lovely rose color, thanks largely to the inspiration I got from this Unico Rosa. This is a rosé vermouth, dry vermouth, but made with red wine grape varieties. And here's how I brought the whole thing together. In our mixing glass, put 2 ounces of. In our mixing glass, put 2 ounces or 60 mils of the gin of your choice, then half an ounce of a rosé vermouth, and then I'm going to put 1 dash of orange bitters and follow that with 1 dash of cranberry bitters to really bring up the red color. We have a delightful dry martini, but it's this nice rose color. Give it a go if you can find some rosé vermouth. It's a nice drink. It's worth trying. Cheers. Okay. Oh, I've got to turn some things off. Turn some things off and sit myself down. Oops, come on. Get your shit together, son. Turn that off. Everything's going to be a bit more mellow for a while. And I'll bring it a chair in. Bring it a chair in. Settle down on a Thursday night. Okay, what's the colours doing to me? I'm looking a bit jaundiced. Yeah, slightly less jaundiced. Maybe I'm just jaundiced, you know? Denying reality. Oh, I'll turn off my banner for the moment. I'm going to make one more video tonight. Yeah, only one more. Another martini variation. And I'll leave the rest for tomorrow night. Even though I have a pretty easy day tomorrow, I got to watch one presentation at work. I had to run some presentations today. That's always fun, but they went well. And then my day's like correspondence. I have to email so many people. That's okay though. It's better than talking to people. Am I right? Ew, people. They're the worst. I would make jokes about that. I'm not really a misanthrope. I'm not really an anti-people person. You know, broadly, peoples are fine. I don't mind peoples. You know, there are bad peoples, there are good peoples. In my experience, unless you're very unlucky, you can live your life in a way that you spend more time with good people than bad people. That's just me. Maybe I'm hopelessly naive. Like this whole angry persona for all these years. Just hating everyone. It's just a facade, and I'm actually really naive and sweet. Yeah, that's the real me. That's the real me. Need a special effect when I smile. Oh my god, that freaked me out. I don't know if you heard that, but at the exact moment I was doing the joke about a ting going off my teeth, my phone went ting. Regulars will know what that is. It is. It's you foods. But still, that genuinely tripped me out. That pretty much at the exact moment I went ding, the phone went ding. Okay? The universe is being weird. Other day it was my goddamn cat. Tonight it's my phone. I should have used a different gin with this. It's not terrible. But I maybe shouldn't have done the orange bitters. And I should have done a different gin. I probably can't be bothered remaking it to test that theory. Right, I'm just preparing for future video. This glass to sit there and get a bit clear. Oh, no, I switch this off so the battery doesn't run. Well, it's time to put some new chargy batteries in there. That's a whole thing. My froofy red drink, but it's actually a pretty serious martini. I was even thinking of just making an old fashioned for fun, because we all know how much. I'm going to adjust the camera so I can sit back a bit. I don't like having all that headspace above me. I'm goddamn professional. And also, I have to admit, I'm still nonplussed by people after like all the years of COVID, where a lot of people were remote working, and if they weren't remote working, they were doing social Zoom chats with friends, and watching people being interviewed via webcam on TV. I cannot. The two things that still happen is like you get on Zoom with someone and they're this. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What's this? Why are you peering over the edge of the screen like Gollum or something? What the fuck? Oh, and the other one, this. People who do this, what the fuck? No one wants to see up your nose. And apologies for showing you up my nose. Like, I swear to God, Tony Abbott did one. Tony Abbott did one where the camera angle was like that and the lighting was like this. It was like, dude, you're going on TV. Why are you going on TV like that? What are you fucking thinking? So it does my head in a bit that people still fuck that up. Anyway, put this back at a proper position. All right. Justin, Trump got arraigned. If he was lucky, he also got arraigned. That's me being a dick. Being is that count as being a grammar pedant? Because I'm just talking about spelling. You didn't nothing wrong with your grammar. You just spelled arraigned wrong, and I'm being a dick. But it also, to me, is a funny double meaning. Trump getting arranged. Getting his shit arranged, he was. He sucks so much. I'm literally going to look at something on my email just now. A tax hack to earn you an extra $500. A clever, underused government scheme gives you free money in your superannuation. It's called a super contribution. You get an extra $500 in your... Oh, right. Okay. It's a super thing. Oh, I thought it was a literal tax refund thing, but that's okay. Superannuation, until a Liberal government eventually destroys it. See, my retirement plan is I'm banking on either winning lotto or complete societal collapse. So no retirement plan is worth anything, and we'll just fucking Mad Max it out. Interesting question, Justin. I assume you mean like because it was secret material. They don't have to disclose the detail of any of the secret material. They just have to say it's been confirmed that this was secret material, and Trump attempted to pervert the course of justice and not give it back. I think they need think they'll need personal security, because Trump supporters are fucking insane. If Trump is convicted, and honestly, it's getting difficult to understand a scenario where he wouldn't be convicted because he's guilty as fuck. Yeah, both. Yeah, like the judge, the prosecutor, the jury. I feel like their lives would be in danger because Trump supporters are fucking whack jobs. Yep, that did not quite work. But that's okay. Life's all about experimentation. Yeah, boy. But I like to think I've become enough of a cocktail nerd that I already know how to improve that. Just tasting it and going, yeah, okay. And it's not one thing. It's like change at least two things, and it would be better. God, you know what? I'm talking myself into remaking it. That's right. I'm probably going to do it. I'm going to talk myself into remaking it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to remake it. It's just stuck in my head now to remake it. Angry, getting shit faced. Actually, the next variation I'm going to make is lower alcohol than this. Bit lower alcohol. That's my being responsible. This martini has a slightly lower alcohol content than the previous martini. Then I'm thinking of making another one that has much more alcohol content. That's what I have to do in my fucking freezer martini video. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Now I got boys. What? Boys Don't Cry pop into my head. The old Cure song. Maybe thinking about Trump having a bit of a cry. I don't know. I think we have enough evidence that Trump being cornered makes him super fucking dangerous. Oh God, I think I forgot something. Wait a sec. Let me double check something here. Okay, Rose Martini, I made you, so you go over there. Milady's Martini. No, it wants the Rose Vermouth. Okay. Why am I second guessing myself? I don't know. But I do. Yep, okay. You know what? Even my friggin' before too many people get in here, and the chat gets chatty, I might make the second one. Because again, it's only, I don't know, with all my faffing around, what, 10 minutes to make this? 10 minutes to make a 1 minute video? They're actually not that bad. All right, you go there. I'm telling inanimate objects what to do. Hey, Pat, how are you doing, big guy? I'm just getting myself ready to shoot some video. All right. I should actually put my banner on. I just kind of like having a banner. All right. Just so anyone who just comes in knows. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I want this here first. So, where's my phone? Gotta keep reminding myself of the recipe. Gin, rosé vermouth, Fino Sherry, Amaro. Okay, gotta get an Amaro out of here. Wish when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's Amaro. That's Amaro? What's this? Maraschino? Fresh orange Amaro. That's a good one. From the whiskey distillery. All right. I've still got that smoky whiskey to taste. Another day. Another day. Another day. Let's do this. And I'm going to do a sweet gin. This one. Hell yes. Crafted good. Mango gin. All right. Yeah, okay. Should we close? We'll get these all ready. Okay. Is that the sherry I can smell? Man, that sherry's got a really distinct sort of raisin aroma. All right. What's happening in the chat? You good, buddy? That's what I like to hear. Gotta know that my favorite wrestling pal is good. Okay, so this is ready to go. Let's turn the little GoPro on. Did I mention I'm so glad I found a use for this after buying it on impulse during lockdown and then not using it for 2 years? Now I've got a use for it. I'm very happy. Right, I'm going to pre-pour just to save a bit of time and be efficient. All right. 3/4 of rosé vermouth. Okay, we'll get that ready too. Okay, let's do this. 3/4 sherry. Almost going dark. And half an ounce of Amaro. Okay. Dots dot. Do that. Put a bit more fresh ice in there. You know what? Fuck it. That's a lot of ice. We're just going to do it with a lot of ice. Put that in there. Put that in there. All right, let's do this. Oh, that is good. That's good. There's a bit more volume in this one. Alrighty, that's the close-ups done. Close-ups done. Turn the GoPro off. Move the bright lights. Bounce off the wall to soften it a bit. Sing along with everything I'm doing. Although I am going to take a picture so I can promote this online. Fuck off, what are you doing? Okay. That'll do. That'll do. Alright. So that's on. Let's have this on. How am I, Pat? I am good, thank you, buddy. Thank you for asking. Just going to sit down and chat properly in another couple of minutes. I just got to do this. No, I don't want the noise of ice dropping. It annoys me. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called Milady's Martini. And although it's a modern cocktail, it harks back to some of the earliest predecessors of the modern martini. And g'day, cocktail lovers. This is called Milady's Martini. And although it's a modern cocktail, fucking shit. Say a sentence, dickhead. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is Milady's Martini. And although it's a modern cocktail, ingredient-wise, it harks back to the original martini recipes from the late 19th century. But it's got a nice, refreshing modern twist. Great flavors in this. You got to try it. Here's how we make it. In our mixing glass, we put 1.5 ounces of a sweeter style vermouth, and then we'll put 3/4 of an ounce, about 22.5 mils of a rosé vermouth. Then the same amount, 3/4 of an ounce or about 22.5 mils of sherry. And finally, you want to put 1/2 ounce or about 15 mils of a bittersweet red aperitivo. Add ice to the glass and give that a good stir for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain it into a chilled martini glass. Which gives us this lovely concoction, and Milady will enjoy it, and I think my gentleman might as well. Cheers. Oh, fuck, that's yum. That is actually really yum. The last one was something I just made up, and there was something not right in it. And I'm feeling a strong urge to try and fix it just for myself. But that one is just yum. It's good. All right. Let's see what's happening. Oh, for fuck's sake, you shallow fucks. Just like the Microsoft base page, like their version of a search that just plasters all these articles and ads on there and so on. Is Alicia Smith the best looking athlete in the world? Shut the fuck up, you shallow fucks. I mean, for fuck's sake. It's so fucking stupid. They got me really annoyed now. Just out of left field, wasn't expecting it, and they've annoyed the shit out of me. Frickin' jerks. Nice. Megaleech shared some cartoon images of a man eating lots of beans that cause him flatulence. I should add my ones. I actually generated, they weren't cartoony, they were a bit more realistic, but there were actually some interesting ones. I'll post them to the Discord. But I always like the cartoony ones. Let's share. Although, sorry, god damn it. Okay, no, I'll just quickly share them. He's having fun, and he's terribly deformed, but he's having fun. So that's what's important. I'm going to switch this banner off. I just remembered. I'm going to switch that off. No more video tonight. This guy seems to actually be farting out beans. But again, he's happy. He's got 3 eyes for some reason. 3 lenses in his glasses. And this guy has the Mexican jumping beans. It's like the beans that are floating on flatulence, and he's not doing it. The cartoony things does that. Anyway, all right, so all right, and download this. Download this. All right, so now I'm going to put some stuff on Discord with the prompt. Upload files. See how it goes. Is gonna upload them. I know it's taken a while. I think I've heard its brain. Safa, Craving Hungry Jacks. I had one of. I've already had the YouFoods ding tonight, which is what I had for dinner. It was a chicken spaghetti thing, which was actually quite yummy. Quite enjoyed it. Fuck me, that's actually good. That's like, that's 8.5. That's good. Okay, it's really weird. It's not showing previews of these things. But I can click on them and say, okay, so my prompt when I was getting a thumbnail for the stream was man with a grey beard and a Hawaiian shirt eating a huge bowl of beans in a bean eating contest. And that presented things like this. Beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat them, the more you toot. This guy looks like he's really... they look like grapes, not beans, but he looks like he's really going to enjoy himself. This guy just kind of looks high as fuck. I feel like he's only wearing those glasses to hide his extremely bloodshot eyes because he's extremely high and he's going to eat that entire giant bowl of beans. And this one, I don't know why what he's eating is so different to what is in the bowl. And why did it give them necklaces? Several of them had necklaces. Oh God, Shadow's out there making stupid fucking noise. You had pulled pork Angus, adding jalapenos. I am a wuss. I don't like chili, spicy, jalapenos too much for me. And when does my YouFoods get delivered? Weirdly, okay, this is a boring topic, but I'm into it. Huge variation. Sometimes it's delivered like first thing in the morning by like 8, 9 a.m. And sometimes it doesn't come till 4 in the afternoon. And I can never tell which it's going to be. Oh, the whole Trump indictment. I saw bits of it. Was it the lockpicking lawyer, whatever that guy's called? Because he's kind of interesting. But yeah, I've seen some summaries, and Trump seems super fucked. Oh, Safa, brothers in boring, my man. I was just prefacing the fact that I was actually excited to share when my YouFoods came. I was prefacing it with like, this is really boring, but I'm into telling you about it. So we are brothers in boring. Yeah, I want to be clear that wasn't a slight on you. It was me saying, well, you know what? I can appreciate that in the abstract, this is a boring topic, but I'm suddenly really into it, and I want to share it. Yeah, I'm going to make this one for Mrs. Angry at some point. This is really fucking good. Yum. The dominant flavor in it is actually the sherry. Very sort of nutty, raisiny flavor from the sherry. I would say Dr. Abigail, it was a guy you haven't seen before. It wasn't a summary. Read the whole thing. By God, he's in so much trouble because there are so many people turning evidence on him saying, when we got the thing from, like Department of Justice, whoever it was, saying, turn it all over, we were like, well, we got to turn it all over. And Trump was going, do we? And they've just got absolutely solid evidence, like video evidence from when there was the raid on Mar-a-Lago, they got the surveillance footage. There's video evidence of Trump and his stooges concealing documentation. It's so fucking stupid. Like, if he goes down for this, this is like one of the stupidest convictions ever. This is someone being convicted because they are stupid as fuck. Super, super conceited, super self-absorbed, super narcissistic, but also incredibly stupid. Heini here. And yes, Safa, technically there's nothing in the Constitution to stop Trump being elected president from within prison. But his trial, I don't know even when his trial would start. It's a whole thing. Is the thing. But here's the thing. With him getting in the nomination, as much as they've toadied up to him and been his stooges, the Republican establishment fucking hates Trump. And they're probably going to make an attempt to turn on him, because it's the same as the Democratic establishment hated Bernie Sanders, except the Democratic establishment disciplined as fuck, and they just went, oh God, Sanders is an actual real threat to us. Okay, Biden just did really well in one of the Carolinas, better than we expected. He's our guy. Everyone else dropped the fuck out of the race. And they did. The Republicans didn't have that sort of level of brutality. And they just kept thinking they'd be able to knock Trump off. But the weakest of the Republican candidates dropped off one by one, and Trump just kept accreting more support. The Republicans needed to do what the Democrats did when they rat-fucked Bernie Sanders if they wanted to rat-fuck Trump, but they didn't have the discipline for it. I admire your faith in politicians, Dr. Abigail. I know the party establishment does not want to endorse him. If he was able to stay in the primary, and if he won the primary, I don't know what the constitution of the Republican Party is if they could refuse to endorse him. That would be the best of all worlds. If Trump ended up running as an independent and the Republicans ran someone else, because then they would both be absolutely lose big time. So I get this, Dr. Abigail. I absolutely agree on this. The fascists shouldn't piss off the military. I have trouble believing anyone in the military gives a shit that he did it. DeSantis is so much worse than Trump, and he's so much less likely to get elected than Trump. It's hilarious. I don't believe Trump would win another election. I was kind of surprised Biden did as well as he did in the last election. That showed a groundswell of people who were like, "Oh fuck no, not Trump! Oh fuck no, not more Trump." He really motivated people to get out and vote on both sides, and I think support for Trump in the next election would be weaker. So if Trump was running, again, what are predictions? Predictions are worthless. My predictions, particularly worthless. But I don't think Trump would win if he ran. I think he's too much of a fuck up, and too many people can see what a fuck up he is. Yeah, you don't need to point that out, Mega Leech. Not entirely sure how Fuckboy made so many comments appear at once. Maybe he's using a script. But yeah. Safa, there's a reason conservatives don't like compulsory voting, because if everyone voted, they would tend to do less well. Basically, multiple research from multiple bodies in multiple countries have shown the more people vote, the less likely Conservatives are to do well. Obviously, it's not universal, but just trend-wise. Yeah. Again, Dr. Abigail, I'm feeling, and I love that you're having more faith in humans than I am. He may well have pissed off the bureaucracy and senior brass of the military. I just don't feel like the rank and file of the military give a shit, because they're fucking idiots, basically. And they like authoritarians. And an interesting thing, Justin, I think independents would do better if there was compulsory voting in the US. It will never happen because culturally and politically, the US is clinically insane, and is obsessed with sticking with stuff that makes no rational sense whatsoever fucking ever. Same as like they won't get rid of their 1 cent coin or their $1 note, despite the fact they are useless and cost too much money to maintain. Just because, and also the fact that they can't do even halfway decent gun control is because there's some endemic sort of psychosis in the society. Yeah, I'm psychoanalyzing an entire country, even though I have no qualifications, and it would be an invalid pronunciation even from someone who did have qualifications. I don't care. So here's the thing, Justin. I think the Democrats would probably be emboldened by compulsory voting, and they might do the proper thing. But I genuinely believe, when I look at the US political landscape, if voting was compulsory, independents would do so much better, and that would put the wind up the Democrats, and they might actually be compelled to do stuff rather than just say stuff. And I think that's the problem with so-called progressive major political parties around the world. They're far more likely to say stuff than do stuff. I mean, I've got a string of disappointments about our current Labor government. They have actually introduced some meaningful changes, and I thoroughly believe if Morrison had retained power, it would be the fucking end for this country. It would be a nightmare, because that guy is a fucking psychopath, and with his absolute fucking loony as shit fringe religious beliefs, he literally believed his role as prime minister was ordained by God. And that shit is fucking dangerous. Like, US Republicans, when they do all the God shit, I think 90% of them are lying. They're horrible, soulless monsters, and they don't believe any of the religious stuff, and they're just giving it lip service. Morrison, very much a believer in the psycho-evangelical bullshit. And when he won the election that surprised everyone that he shouldn't have won, he definitely, genuinely believed that was God working for him. If he'd have won another one, I think this country would have been so fucked. It would just be like, close up the shop, we're fucking done. So if the Albanese government is a disappointment, which they are, but I was expecting that. So it's not so much a disappointment. They are meeting my low expectations. It is just so much better than the Morrison government being returned, like orders of magnitude. I literally think it would have been an absolute disaster. And not even just in the normal way that I don't like conservative governments, because I don't, and I'm not going to pretend I'm objective. But just Morrison and his evangelical shit, I think, is so dangerous, so fucking dangerous. And Oof. Yeah, we are so well shot of that guy. And there was some more stories coming out this week of more things that Morrison did that seemed to be super fucking criminal. Fuck that guy, honestly. Fuck him. Oh man, that was a yummy fucking drink. Do I still want to fix the one that wasn't great? Drinking, well, water, melted ice. I filled this with ice, and I've got my sody water to have later. I would pretty much agree with all of that, Dr. Abigail. They're failing on climate change, housing crisis, cost of living crisis. I think they're failing on the big things. They've done some, they have improved some things. I mean, low fucking bar compared to Morrison and cronies being better than them. Low fucking bar. But they have actually introduced some positive changes. They continue to be a source of significant disappointment with how fucking cowardly they are and scared of taking big, significant decisions. But who the fuck knows? I don't know. Maybe, they play their sort of scared conservative game for this term and just do some incremental improvements. Maybe, I don't know, is this possibly me being hopelessly naive again? Maybe they get re-elected and they're a bit more bold. I mean, they should take a fucking leaf out of Daniel Andrews' books. Not that he's a beautiful, shining saint, because he does heaps of things wrong too. But he proposed some fairly radical policy. He got elected and he fucking did it. And all the Murdoch media, actually pretty much all the media, railed against him. He came back with an increased majority. And then there was all the nastiness of COVID and the shit for that. And he got another increased majority. I mean, fucking be bold. It shits me up the wall when I see Labor governments being cowardly. And I do believe the Albanese federal government is being extremely cowardly. And I don't think it's necessary. And I wish they'd fucking get their shit together, because they have some good minds in their party. They have some good performers in their party. And they're just not doing it. What's it? Mrs. Angry just texting me with important information. She's doing another comparison taste between the cream liqueurs I got this week from Heliers Road, the hazelnut liqueur and salted caramel liqueur. And she's going, I can't decide between them. I go, I agree. I can't decide between them. They're just different and wonderful. I did see that poll about the Victorian Liberals and that they're disappearing down the plug hole, which is hilarious. I did see that too, Safa. The Russian embassy lease not being renewed. That's a reasonable move. Well, again, there's a couple of areas where the Andrews government is absolutely not covering themselves in glory. One seemed to be sucking up to the property developers. Two, sucking up to the cops. Three, not being really good on Indigenous rights. Like, not being the worst in the world, but if there's development versus Indigenous rights, development's going to win no contest every time. So And I will throw out, and I know you're a Green supporters, Dr. Abigail. I'm not being totally argumentative here, but it's probably the major problem I have with the Greens in that they can say whatever because they're never going to form government. I don't know. I'd have to look in more properly. I think it's probably safe to say I agree with the majority of Greens policy, and I agree with them the majority of the time when they criticize government, whether that be Liberal or Labor. But I do have a problem with people make the Greens making big pronouncements, and I was going like, yeah, but you're never going to be in government, so you're never going to have to implement that, and you're never going to have to answer for the cost of that, and whatnot. So, I feel there are times when their pronouncements are a bit cynical because they're never going to be held to them because they're never going to be in power, so they can say whatever the fuck they want. I actually genuinely look forward to a future like the Conservatives, the Liberal Party has, and there might be some mad historian who could contradict me here, but I feel confident saying, certainly at the federal level, the Liberal Party has never won power in their own right. They've not even been particularly close. They've always needed the Country Party or the Nationals in coalition. The Liberals can't ever win power in their own right. I would actually look forward to a future where also Labor can't win power in their own right, and they would be forced into either a formal coalition with the Greens or an informal coalition with Greens and Independents. I think that would be a net positive, quite honestly, because then there would be more riding on Green policy. It's like, okay, you're actually part of a coalition now, and if you're pushing policies that are too difficult or impossible to actually implement, then you'll lose that power. And yeah, I also do agree with that line about influencing policy, Dr. Abigail. But I can't help feeling like there are times when the Greens are being really cynical because they're voting against Labor stuff, or they're criticizing Labor for not supporting their proposals when they're criticizing Labor for not supporting their proposals when Labor just goes, well, no, we're going to lose government if we do that. And again, Labor isn't always right in these cases. As I said, I think it's safe to say I support the majority of Greens policies. It just grates on me a bit that I do feel like some of their public pronouncements are quite cynical because they can say fucking whatever because they're never going to be held to it because they're never going to be in power. Well, you're welcome, Megaleech. I reminded you had Helios Road. Oh, Jesus Christ. I am sus about way more Labor than the Greens. I probably should stress that. I'm way more sus on Labor than the Greens. And I'm sus on them for different reasons. I think, and I'll focus on the Albanese federal government. I think they're fucking cowards. I think they're absolute fucking cowards. There's just another text from Mrs. Angry saying how yummy the Helios Road cream liqueur is. I have to agree. It's fucking awesome. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Justin, ACT is different because it's all public servants. And if Conservatives ever get elected, they'll cut the public service.
And it is, well, again, okay, I genuinely think the media is regularly quite unfair to the Greens. Megaleech, that's exactly the text messages from Mrs. Angry, because pretty much the only one you can get in shops here is the classic Heliers Road cream liqueur, and that's yum. The flavored ones are better. I'd had picked up salted caramel at an event. It's better than the regular one. And I ordered off the website both the salted caramel and the hazelnut, which I've never had before. That was a huge gamble because I'd never tasted the hazelnut. The hazelnut's fucking awesome. But yeah, we're just having a text with Mrs. Angry. It's not that the hazelnut's better than the salted caramel or the other way. They're both fucking awesome. They're different. It's almost what mood are you in? The salted caramel is a more sort of in-your-face flavor. The hazelnut's a bit more subtle, but they're both fucking awesome. Dr. Abigail agreeing Heliers Road is good. Oh, okay. You've made a call. Good for you. Okay. That's fair. See, you go salted caramel better than classic, better than hazelnut. I would put both salted caramel, hazelnut above classic. And I think it's a whole mood thing. Salted caramel, much bigger flavor. If you want bigger flavor, you go salted caramel. I think the hazelnut's friggin' awesome, though. But there's a good, opinions. They can be different. You know what? I really fucking want to... Okay, I'm going to try and fix the martini I made earlier. This is not for a video. I'm literally just going to have this. Oh, man. Side note, martinis get you drunk. Definitely half tip Smith at the moment. Okay. So, where did I put? There's just water. Right. This ice is enough. All right. So, step the first. Different gin. Archie Rose, bone dry. Okay. Let's quickly do this. Archie Rose, Archie Rose. Also, I've got to decide if I'm going to have a fucking retail therapy splurge, because I was really feeling like it. And I was thinking, that's irresponsible. Maybe I shouldn't do that. So I'm in a quandary at the moment if I should do a big fucking retail therapy splurge. I did get paid this week. Stirring. That feels pretty cold. That's better. Let me do that. Nice colour as well. All right. Third martini for the evening. 3 martini evening. Oh. Da-da-da. Oh yeah, Megaleech, I'm with you. Not trying the coffee one. There. That's it. Oh, fuck yeah. No, I needed different gin and don't use orange bitters. That's it. What did you post on Discord? All right. All right, so I'm going to share this pie chart. And yes, what is the source of this pie chart, Justin? I'm just going to share it. So it's saying of the almost dead people older than boomers, about half would vote for either ALP or Greens, and then half vote Conservative, I guess. Boomers, the ALP Green vote is slightly bigger. They're saying Gen X. They're actually saying less Gen X vote Labour Green than boomers, which is interesting. Although more Gen X vote Green, but the combined Green ALP seems smaller than the boomer one. And it's going like millennials vote more Green than Labour. But again, the combined Labour Green seems less than the boomer vote. So, yeah. So the source of that's actually from Parliament. That's from the official Parliament website. Hey, Mazem Creations, how you doing? So that's interesting. That's actually from the official Australian Parliament website. That is very interesting to me. An increased Green vote, but a reduced overall Labor Green vote. That's interesting. Sorry. I definitely am sharing this these AI images because just the the prompt for them is so good. The prompt is all right. Well, stop sharing that. Oh, sorry, Ms. Creations. My martini is right here. Thank you very much. Third martini of the evening. And oh man, this one. First one was okay. Second one was awesome. This one is fixing the first one. And it's good. Is there hard at work on some artwork for the channel? Nice. Anyway, so I was going to share a cartoon image of an old man with a pie chart. And it also seems to be talking and shoving an acorn in his. The combination of that one is so weird. This one, it's like he's really looking forward to eating the pie chart. And it's like he's got emoticons in his eyes, little smileys in his eyes. That's very weird. Oh, the prompt was eating a pie chart. Okay. And this guy is, in fact, eating his pie chart. Looks like a nice piece of pie, too. He looks like a very wise old man. So, yeah, I like those. Cartoon of an old man eating a pie chart. That's a lot of fun. Where are we going? Oh, I like this. Okay, Ms. M Creations showing the work on creating a caricature. Work in progress. I actually really love seeing artists post works in progress. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. Also, dude has a lot of hair. That dude has a lot of, just saying, dude has a lot of hair. Oh god. Okay, Megaleech, this one you've posted is now scaring me. Does anyone remember? This looks like the pies in Trivial Pursuit. We always call them pies and pieces. That looks like he's eating. That looks like a very unhinged old man with 4 legs, no less. Not entirely sure why he has 4 legs, but he's eating a pie chart. All right, so this is a chart from the Financial Times in England. What's this saying? It's saying millennial voters in the UK and US are not following the typical pattern of growing more conservative as they age. So showing, yeah, boomers and older and Gen X got progressively more conservative, and they're saying millennials don't. Well, good on you, millennials. It's Financial Times analysis of British election study. There you go. Huge if true, as the saying goes. Now, for some reason, we've changed the prompt to an old person eating a pie chart and crying. It's like there's something wrong with his pie. He also appears to be melting. Sorry, this is just fun. I love the way it does cartoons. Yes, actually, that one does look a bit like John Howard, quite honestly. Hey, Liam. Doing fine. Hope you are well. This is a 3 martini night. Yeah, I was kind of considering drinking something else as well. Think I'm probably going to go some soda water after this. I don't know. I got a real easy day at work tomorrow. That's pretty fucking good, though. That is pretty fucking good. I like. Here's the thing, because I'm like, fucking martini nerd, cocktail nerd at the moment. When something doesn't work, I can usually straight away go, I know what to do to make that better. And it worked in this case. And I always feel good when that works, when I make something up, because the first one that I'm saying is not as good as this one. I fixed the problems with it. I made it up. I thought this will work. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it's like, but I thought I know exactly what to change. And I changed it. Oh, Liam, not alone, my friend. Having some tough days. I hope you soldier on through the tough days. And I'll say some positive platitudes, which obviously aren't going to help you get through the days. But, moral support. Being as I'm unable to change the material status of your world, I will just send hopes that things improve for you. So far, soda water, half price at Woolies. Well, I got all these at massive discounts from the Cappy website. Have some of this. This is their white peach flavored soda water, sparkling. And I think they basically told me in an email they're going to completely change their whole range soon. So, which is probably why they're selling the other stuff cheap, because they're trying to get rid of it. Because they're coming up with a new product line, which apparently is going to be based around mineral water. Not sure how I feel about that. I'll give it a taste because I've liked the sparkling. I don't know about anyone else, or if anyone else, goes out as much as I do. I mean, yeah, date nights every second week, but we occasionally cheeky do some extra going outs. But if you ever sit down at a place, it's always like, you're ordering food and they're like, can we get some water? tap or sparkling. We always say just tap. I don't want sparkling. But it's funny because I think sometimes when they say, "Do you want tap or sparkling?" Because I don't know if they charge more for sparkling or whatever. They just say tap. I don't know if they think we're cheap, but they soon forget any concept of us being cheap when we start ordering cocktails. All right. Again, Liam, literally the least I can do, offer you some positive encouragement and positive vibes. And I might as well do it. It's the least I can do. It's also kind of the most I can do, but it's genuine. I do. Someone has to be a complete fucking dick to me for me to not wish positive things towards them. It does happen. And look, let's be honest. I probably earn it occasionally when I get up in someone's face and whatnot, but I don't know. I gotta be me. That's what I'm gonna do. Safa, this Saturday is not a date night. Last Saturday was a date night. And as I said, talking about cheeky extra nights, we did go out on Friday as well to the Patient Wolf Distillery to try their pink gin, which is real nice. And I've been posting some longer videos on my cocktail channel where I just dive in. Like I had one about gin. I just dived into gin. And today I posted... was it today I posted the one about martinis? I don't know. I've been posting some more in-depth videos. Ms. M, creation, the plans this weekend, quiet, I guess. Last weekend was a long weekend. Party night stream tomorrow night. Quite likely I'll do a stream on Saturday night too, although Mrs. Angry and I may come up with something we want to do together. So yeah, it might be 4 live streams in a row. Might be tonight, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a row. Might again, then might not. Liam, I still haven't got back into movies. COVID has put me off cinemas. I used to go to cinemas all the time. Like a really regular date night for me, Mrs. Angry, would be a movie, then dinner and cocktails, or early dinner and cocktails, then a movie. But just the whole idea of being in a closed space with recirculated air for 2 hours doesn't appeal to me. I'm very off-put by it. Although, honestly, Dune Part 2, literally the last movie I watched in a cinema was Dune Part 1. Dune Part 2 might get me back into the cinemas. So we'll see. I've been watching more like TV shows, but now there is a bunch of movies on the streaming services that I want to watch. In fact, to go back to Nazem Creations question weekend, I may watch a bunch of movies on the streaming services. I think you can watch Avatar, The Way of Water. There are 2 different movies about rich people getting what's coming to them. And what was the other one? There was another one I wanted to watch. Anyway, there's basically at least 4 movies that have come onto streaming services in the last week or 2 that I want to watch. So I may be watching them. Safa, I'm not sure. I think June 1's like 2 hours or something. Say water, US star. Water. One of the funniest YouTube videos I ever heard was an Aussie who'd gone to the US, was in a restaurant, and when the server said, like, can I get you something to drink? They went, just water. And the server's like, what? And I said, water. And the server's like, what? And they just, water. I just want water. And the server's going, I don't know what you're saying. And when eventually got the server, oh, you want water? Because Australians say water. It's just so funny. Oh, Bazem, I do not actually watch the Fast and Furious movies. No hate on anyone who likes them. I just don't think I have watched a single Fast and Furious movie. Okay. This is kind of weird. I did watch Hobbs and Shaw. I think I watched Hobbs and Shaw all the way through, which is a Fast and Furious spin-off. But I don't think I have sat through a single Fast and Furious movie. Also, flashback to 20 years ago, the first Fast and Furious movie. Does anyone remember the crime? The big crime was stealing DVD players off trucks because they were new and DVD players were really expensive. And now DVD players are like $50. Miss M, I think I watched the first two Expendables movie. What are they up to? I think I watched the first two Expendables movies. Hellion, hello, Kirsten. And yeah, Safa, in the original Fast and Furious, DVD players were worth thousands. It's so funny that was the big thing they were stealing. DVD players. Fuck me. And yes, are we talking about Fast and Furious? Yeah. Yeah, as you say, it's Fast 10 or something. Liam, find it annoying with little kids. Yeah. Look, I've been there, done that. I made one attempt when Young was angry, was a little toddler. So she was probably only less than 2 years old, and she was pretty well behaved. And we thought she'd sit still in a cinema. And I even remember the movie. The movie was Rounders, the movie about professional card players that had Matt Damon in it. And it took us 15, 20 minutes to work out she was not going to be still and quiet. And we did the right thing and left the cinema. I do think, and I understand why people take their little kids to the cinema because they desperately want to get out of the house, but it's pretty fucking self-centered, quite honestly. No, honestly, the Flash, we didn't know, dude, we didn't have a color TV in the fucking 70s. My grandparents did. They lived across the road. We used to go across to their place to watch a couple of shows in color. I mean, we did eventually get a VHS player in the early 80s, but my sister, my older sister, who lived in another town in Bathurst, she got a Betamax player, and there was a deal when she bought it. They gave her a movie with it, and she got to choose between a couple, and she got Alien, the original Alien, which was a wicked fucking choice. Great movie. Excellent movie. So, yeah, we had we had color TV and a VHS in the early 80s, like 82, 83. Because I'm poor white trash, in case anyone didn't know. What was your upbringing like, Angry? Well, I was poor white trash, living in the shitty part of town, big Catholic family with no goddamn money. Oh, Ms. M. Okay, seriously. Saving Private Ryan, great movie, particularly the opening scene, the Normandy landing. Because I've got Foxtel, which is a cable thing. If I happen to be flicking through and Saving Private Ryan's on and it's about to start, I will watch it. I will watch that first 20 minutes. The way Spielberg shot that Normandy landing is full on. Broadly, I think it's a good movie, but that opening scene of the Normandy landing is incredibly. Oh, Liam, you got bullied in a cinema? Jesus, that's fucked up, dude. Yeah. Also, I have to admit, I do love war movies, particularly when the movie's based on a real event and you know, because of how the real event went, shit's going to get fucked up, yo. Just the way a well-made movie will set it up and tension, like Black Hawk Down, for instance, which is a dramatization of where the Americans were in Mogadishu and shit went a bit sideways. And just the whole build-up where you know what it's building up to is shit going wrong, and just the tension just kind of building and building and building to you hit the tipping point and shit goes wrong. Same as the Australian film about the Battle of Long Tan in Vietnam. It's called Danger Close. It's pretty good. It's the same deal. Like shit gets fucking hardcore in that. Or the American film about the US's first major engagement in the Vietnam War. The Mel Gibson film, We Were Soldiers. Same deal. You know everything's going to go tits up. And so the build up to the point where the tension's like rising, and then you just hit the tipping point. Fury is interesting. I didn't like Fury as much as I thought I would. I did like it. But maybe I should rewatch it, actually. But yeah, when I did watch it when it was new, I didn't like it quite as much as I thought I would. And this is really funny. It's like, Angry's a bleeding hypocrite. Because, you know, I'm like a radical lefty, anti-militaristic, smash the state anarchist. I fucking love war movies, though. I really do. The French gave up. The French got the snot knocked out of them. Like, you know, you talk about, you know, the US losing the engagement in Vietnam. The French got the absolute piss knocked out of them in Vietnam. Here's the thing. Mel Gibson, person, absolute piece of shit. Misogynist, racist, bigot, abuser. Absolute, as a person, absolute piece of shit. Annoying, quite good actor, extremely good filmmaker. It's kind of like Clint Eastwood. What a dick, but really quite good filmmaker. I get quite annoyed at lefties when someone betrays themselves to be an arsehole, you know, whether they be a musician, comedian, filmmaker, actor, whatever. And it's like, okay, we should not like that person because they're fucking awful. And you get people go, well, they were never any good anyway. And you go, shut the fuck up. They actually are good at their craft, at their art. They are actually good at it. It's annoying when people, just because they're bad people, say they're not good at creating stuff. I think you're a little confused there. Mel Gibson is an alcoholic. South Sydney Rabbitohs was Russell Crowe. Also, enthusiastic drinker. So I think you're mixing up two of our adopted sons. Russell Crowe, actually New Zealander. Mel Gibson, actually an American. Mel Gibson's dad moved the family out here to avoid his kids getting conscripted for Vietnam. So there are two of our more famous adopted sons, as it were. But it's like Rusty just one day for a laugh just went, I think I want to buy a controlling interest in the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Fuck yeah, why not, Rusty? Fucking go for it. Oh yeah, Sam Neill, again, another Kiwi. That possibly a lot of Australians think he's actually Australian. I was watching a video. I can never remember his name, but there's Anthony something, I think, the guy who's Homelander in The Boys, and Carl Urban, who's his nemesis in The Boys. They're both New Zealanders. I think I knew Carl Urban was a New Zealander, but I thought the other guy was Australian, but they're both New Zealanders. And in this thing, they're both talking about New Zealanders. It's like a promo for the upcoming season of The Boys. Oh, that Hemsworth movie, Extraction. Well made. I thought that was quite a well made movie. A little bit silly and stuff. And how the fuck they justify Extraction 2, I don't know. Because they, yeah, I don't know. But I thought that was well made. I thought that was really quite entertaining. And I just kind of like Chris Hemsworth. He's one of my gay crushes. So, and probably mostly because of how he came across in the film made by my other gay crush, Taika Waititi, Thor Ragnarok. Still probably my favorite Marvel movie. I don't know, it's very close between that and Black Panther. Black Panther is kind of straight ahead and serious. So Black Panther's probably my favorite serious Marvel movie, and Thor Ragnarok's my favorite lighthearted one. Very good. Yeah, but yeah, so there's this. I might be watching movies this weekend, just fucking crashing on the lounge and watching movies. We shall see. Because Mrs. Angry has been commandeering the lounge a lot to play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and she's well into it. Good for her. I will definitely play it at some point. I love those games. I love open world games. In fact, her having Tears of the Kingdom pretty much made me want to play Breath of the Wild again. I did kind of see that, Safa, that Chris Hemsworth said, okay, in the last Thor movie, Love and Thunder, we might have lost the plot a bit. We got a bit wacky and maybe it didn't quite work. Russell Crowe doing Zeus as an old Greek man, migrant. That was the weirdest fucking choice. That was such a weird choice. And I would fucking love to have heard the discussions that resulted in Rusty playing Zeus that way. Because I feel for sure it was Rusty and Taika Waititi where they go like, okay, so Zeus is the Greek god. You know what? I have this idea that I want to play him like this old Greek dude who I grew up next to. And then Rusty and Taika would have both just swapped all these stories talking like an old Greek migrant. And then they decided, yeah, let's do Zeus as an old Greek migrant to the Antipodes. I was like, oh my God. So you watched the new Avatar movie? James Cameron was jizzing the whole time. Yeah, he's trying to do the thing. James Cameron is one of those people who needs a good editor, and I don't know if I haven't seen the new Avatar movie yet, so I don't know if he had a decent editor for it. Because who was it? Patton Oswalt, who is a real film nut. He's a mad fucking nerd. He's a pretty funny comedian, and he's a mad fucking nerd. And he's a film nerd as well. And he had a routine at one point, and he's bringing up a couple different films where this was the case. It was like some male auteur just shooting reams and reams of film and jizzing film everywhere, just like, look at my masterpiece. And their wife has to edit it and make it coherent. And the two key ones I think he was talking about is the original Star Wars movie. And that's what happened. Like George Lucas just shot shit tons of stuff, and it was edited by his then wife, who cut out heaps of it. Just like, no, we need a coherent narrative thread in here, and this stuff is all extraneous. Cut it out. And the other one I feel he was referencing was Mad Max Fury Road. But George Miller at this point's got like a 40-year film career, and he just shoots this over the top visual thing, And it ended up being edited by his wife, who had edited documentaries, but had never edited an action film. And she fucking knocked it out of the park. The way Fury Road ended up coming together. This was a film that had been in development hell for 10 years. And it had no right. It had no right being even a passable movie. I still think it's basically the best movie of the 21st century. I fucking love it. And I feel like I need to rewatch it, actually. I fucking love that movie. It has so much going on. And it was his wife who pulled it together and edited it in a structure. And in terms of the Star Wars A New Hope, there is a mini doco you can get on YouTube. It's called something like how Star Wars was saved in the edit, and it highlights all this stuff that had been shot and Lucas thought was important. And when his wife was editing, she's going, no. And the person narrating is going, and this is why it improved the movie. Cutting all this stuff out gave you this structure. And this shit was all superfluous. It's super fucking weird that we, as the movie-going public, we go and see a movie and go, cool, that was a movie. We have no idea how much was shot that was edited out, how many reshoots were done, all this stuff. We just look at the end product and go, ugh. So many people work on these things and do so much. So, Safa, you watched Fury Road in the cinemas and you had no hopes for it? Cinema was full? Okay, here's a real thing. Okay, because Fury Road, even though it's, Mad Max Fury Road, and Max is pretty fucking cool in it, it actually centered on, the female character, Furiosa, and the different fuckhead men's rights activists had decided this was an affront, and it was terrible and a travesty. And they tried to push this idea that people were walking out of the cinemas in disgust. And it actually, I saw it in gold class at Village, okay, which costs twice as much as a normal cinema ticket. And it's a smaller number of seats in there, whatnot. This fucking dude did stand up, and he's obviously like an MRA thinking he was making a point. He stood up and he walked out going, oh. It's like no one fucking cared. No one noticed. I think people just thought he was going to the toilet. But he was actually going, oh. And I went, oh, that's a fucking MRA trying to make his point. This is terrible. I'm walking out. And nobody cares, dude. Nobody fucking cares. It's just, and this fucking moron paid, I don't know, 50, I forget how much gold class is because I haven't gone for years. But he paid like twice as much as a normal cinema ticket to walk out and try and make a statement, and no one noticed. I think I wouldn't be surprised if I was the only one who knew what he was doing. And it's just because I'm terminally online and I'd seen all these MRA fuckwits going online about what a travesty Fury Road was. And people were walking out of the cinemas. No, only weird fuckhead MRAs were walking out of the cinemas. That movie is just the best. Oh God, now I have to decide if I'm going to watch. I might even do it this weekend. This weekend but I've got the box set that Mrs. Angry got me for Christmas years back that has the black and chrome version of Fury Road, and because Fury Road uses that blue and orange color scheme that's so popular now. Blue, orange. And like those colors are so rich and so beautiful and whatnot. We hear about a high contrast black and white version. That doesn't sound good. It is, though. It's really good. So I've got both on Blu-ray, the original version and the black and chrome version. It's almost like I want to do a Minecraft viewing of it Safa, from your perspective, is wow. Okay, because this thing's not mirrored. I thought I was holding up the right hand. Oh yeah, no, Kirsten. I think I've absolutely done a bingo tonight. But now we're restricting bingos to Friday nights. I promise to do a bingo, but make it a natural part of the conversation. In other words, just be myself, because I'm so goddamn predictable. I was like, Kirsten, I was hoping you would show up tonight so you could encourage me to be self-indulgent, because I've had two thoughts of doing some retail therapy and making myself feel better, because I did get paid this week. And actually, maybe I should wait till I do my tax and maybe get a tax return, because my whole tax thing is very complicated. A hangover from my contracting days. And I had to pay some tax bills, like $6,000, and my accountant has been assuring me I'll get it back, so we'll wait and see. But so I actually financially got knocked around a bit in the last month in ways I wasn't expecting, and kind of put the fear of God into me. And I was thinking, and now I've been paid a couple times and whatnot, and things are kind of cool. I still need to pay off my credit card, but that will happen in the next month. But if my accountant is right, when I file some tax returns, which I think I'll do as quickly as possible, because he was kind of saying I'll get a lot back, then suddenly I'll be fucking rich. Then maybe I can be really self-indulgent. Sorry, guess you got paid today and there's nothing left. I feel that's been me for the last month, definitely. I'm actually behind. I had religiously paid down my credit card all the time, like for years now. I've never had credit card debt. I've bought a bunch of stuff on credit card, but then I've paid it all. Last month, I went backwards. And so it's going to take me another month to pay that off, but that's okay, because I planned it all out. I'm going to pay rent, pay, all right, another month, I'll have it paid off. But also, if I get this tax return, then I'll be fucking rich, bitch. But the two things I'd been thinking of doing a mad friggin' retail therapy on, one was because I actually finished my Sunrise Lime gin, the Archie Rose Sunrise Lime. I actually finished that. And I like it, so I was thinking of replacing it. And then also, because I've got less than half a bottle of the Bone Dry gin, which I fucking love, and it won't be around forever. So I might get another bottle of that. And I was thinking, hell, I might even get that rye malt whiskey as well. But the other one was the Brix one, because they had that mango gin, mango rum, and the trail mix. And honestly, they're still selling the Citrus Got Real, which I fucking love, because you get a bottle of that and it's like a blood orange white rum thing. It's like 38% alcohol, but it drinks like a cocktail. Like I just drink it on ice. Don't even mix it with anything, which makes a really fucking potent drink. Because even boozy cocktails tend to only be about 25-30% alcohol. This thing, if you just pour it over ice, that's 38% alcohol. That's really fucking strong, but it's so yummy. So I was thinking of binging on Brix stuff as well. But then I'm kind of going, okay, I should just fucking chill. If my accountant was telling the truth and I get a bunch back on my tax return, then, I'm suddenly fluid again because I've had a scary month because I haven't had money stress for years. Because of various things I've tried to do. I've had a couple of periods where I was in absolutely horrible amounts of debt that took years to recover from. And that's years as being paid as a contractor, which is getting paid a fair bit. And it still took years to recover from entrepreneurial misadventures. But I haven't been in a tight spot money-wise for ages. I suppose I'm not really in a tight spot now. It's just that I'm thinking, I maybe shouldn't be super decadent. But I want to be. And so I'm torn between, I want the endorphin rush of buying shit. And for some reason, and I know I'm not alone in this, I love ordering shit online and then it arrives. It's like presents. Even though you paid for it, because it gets delivered to your house in a box. It's like, I got a present. I got something special. I'm very bad. I'm very bad. But yeah, no, I absolutely fall for that. Safa, yeah, at a certain point you need private health insurance. I'm really paranoid. Actually, Justin, at this point, I only have one functional credit card. It's my main bank thing. And it was all tied up with my business account when I was a contractor, my personal, day-to-day account, and a credit card. So, yeah, but as the system keeps... I already said it earlier in the stream, but my retirement plan hinges on one of two things: winning lotto or society completely collapsing. So no retirement plan counts for shit, and we just Mad Max it till we're all dead. Honey, you're like that with boxes from the internet? Yeah, to me, it never stops being cool. You just fucking order something, and then you get... I did actually... Okay, I shouldn't be over the top. I got something in the last week. I did get my Helia's Road stuff in the mail in the last week. 2 cream liqueurs and a whiskey. Yum. How Tim Smith am I? Honestly, sometimes I feel like having a home breathalyzer to work that out. I sincerely might be fully Tim Smith at the moment. I'm more than half. I'm more than half Tim Smith. So, Kirsten, you share my retirement plan? It's either lotto or apocalypse. Honestly, apocalypse seems more likely. But, yeah, we'll see. It's kind of like the accountant saying, you could put more money into super. And I went, look, we are eventually going to have another Liberal government, and they have made it clear, for whatever reason, they want to destroy the superannuation system. It's probably because the business people don't like paying for our superannuation. So it's like, I don't really see the point in overcommitting to a system that one major political party wants to destroy. And because they clearly do want to destroy it. They've made it real fucking clear. That's another thing that would happen. If Morrison had won the last election, been re-elected, he would have absolutely destroyed superannuation in this term. No question whatsoever. Hey, Blur, how you doing? Asafa, they weakened superannuation during COVID. They literally want to destroy it. They want to eradicate it and have it not be a thing. And yes, they hate socialized medicine too. They're fuckheads. They suck so much. I know everyone talks about, if they had a time machine, go and deal with baby Hitler. I have a strong desire to deal with baby John Howard, quite honestly. Fuck that guy. Oh, Blue, you made it to LA. 8 p.m. last night. Okay. How's your sleep schedule going? Because, yeah, doing travel knocks you about. Ah, see, I don't really know LA neighborhoods. Saying Linwood at night's interesting. Justin, you have frequent fly cards, got points. I have been tempted, and I'll probably wait till I've got shit back on an even keel. But my bank has a credit card that has lots of rewards if you spend a lot. And because I've been basically spending everything on my credit card and then paying it off. And if I had one of these high reward things, I probably would get a bunch of rewards. So I think when I pay my credit card off, which will be in about a month, I might say to the bank, I want to swap to this one you have. So, oh, okay. So, Blue, your summary of Linwood is sketchy places and public urination. Well, see, the problem was we had Howard was like finance minister in the 70s and early 80s. And he fucked us up then. He fucked us up worse as PM, but he fucked us up as finance minister. He's a piece of shit, basically. So actually, Blue, were you saying that about Linwood in LA? I remember one time, this is a long time ago, I was in the US like 25 years ago with my then partner, and she had family there, and we were moving between LA and Las Vegas, and we wanted to go to San Francisco. And so we were looking at flights there. I don't remember. I think it was probably from LA. I don't remember if it was from LA or Las Vegas, but flights. And because there are a couple of airports around San Fran, and going to San Francisco airport was the most expensive. And there were a couple of sort of peripheral airports. Oh god, I had it right in my head. And now my fucking brain stopped working. What is the town or suburb near San Francisco that was kind of notorious for being crime ridden? It's annoying the shit out of me. I had it in my head and I can't quite get it. It's the 3 martinis that are stopping me from remembering. Oakland. Thank you. Kirsten got in first. Oakland. It was Oakland. Thank you. That was driving me crazy. So there is an Oakland airport. We flew in to Oakland Airport, and then you could get elevated train into San Francisco. And so we're in this, it's like a monorail. Compton's LA, Dr. Abigail. Straight out of Compton, as the NWA were. So yeah, Oakland. And we're on the elevated rail line above Oakland. We were just looking out, and it looked dodgy as fuck. And we were just looking down going, I see why all the gang movies are shot in Oakland, because this shit looks fucking like, I'm really, really glad to not be at street level. And, that might be complete bullshit and not, but as a wussy white guy, I was just looking down on Oakland going, I do not want to be at street level down there. That shit looks hard as hell. And I am a soft little white marshmallow. And man, there was just a vibe. And I didn't even see anyone because it was like an industrial area. It was all warehouses and shit. But I don't know, there was just something visually. It was this vibe like, yeah, shit looks fucked up down there. And I was kind of like, oof, no, don't go down there. Do not go down there. It's all kinds of messed up down there. And I have to admit, we washed out a bit because we were there. We were in San Francisco at Halloween. And because you got like a Mexican district there, there's a Day of the Dead after Halloween. And potentially seriously cool stuff happened. But we weren't that well versed in American cities and weren't that comfortable with American cities. And San Fran proper was okay, but didn't really want to wander around at night. And in retrospect, I pretty much regret not going to some of the more interesting areas at night around Halloween. But we were just like, you know what? It's just a bit sketchy and we don't know shit and we're weird outsiders. So not going to do it. Not going to go there. Not going to do it. But I kind of regret it because I think it probably would have been cool. So it happens. It absolutely happens. Suffer. It was more the ghetto vibe than a comic block vibe. It's like it was like gang movies. It literally, looking down on Oakland, it looked like all the gang movies I'd ever seen. Ooh, fun side bit. I'm sure I've told this story multiple times, but I haven't told it for a while. When I was in LA, like we're in Hollywood. Okay, I need to go to Grauman's Theatre. It's had various names over the years. It used to be called the Chinese Theatre and whatnot. It's a bit where there's the cement blocks out the front where famous Hollywood people have put their handprints and or footprints over the years. So it's got stuff from just names from all through the 20th century. And it's like, okay, this is an historic place. I need to go and watch a movie there. The movie that was playing is called Set It Off. And it is basically, the basic premise is, I think it's 4 black women form a bank robbing gang. Oh, it's Mann's Chinese Theatre now. It was Grauman's Chinese Theatre back in the day. But anyway, so it's like a Hollywood institution and sort of thing. And I said, we have to go and see a film in the Chinese Theatre. And we did. The film was showing, Set It Off. It was 4 women form a bank robbing gang. Interesting. 80-90% of the audience was black because it was a film with black characters. This was an experience for me of being one of a small number of white people in a cinema for a black film. And they were very vocal, like basically cheering every time Whitey got what was coming to him. It was a really interesting experience because I've never had it anywhere else, and it was very interesting. I'm trying to think, was it Queen Latifah who was in it? I think it was Queen Latifah. Set It Off. 1996 film. So that's when I was there in 1996. Yes, it was Queen Latifah. And so the cast was Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Vivica Fox, and Kimberly Elise. So they were the bank robbers. Queen Latifah's character was gay, and what was really interesting in the scene where she pashes her girlfriend, the other women in the gang are quite uncomfortable, and they're sort of going, and the audience was like, like very vocally, like, oh. Like I said, it was an experience. It was a really interesting experience. I'm glad I did it. I didn't feel threatened. I didn't feel unsafe. I just felt extremely conscious. As a white guy, I was a really small minority in that audience, and that almost never happens. It's definitely the one time that has ever happened to me in a cinema. Because definitely every other time I've been in a cinema, the majority of the audience has been white. Just as I said, that popped in my head, a comedy show, two Muslim comedians who for a few years did shows together under the name Fear of a Brown Planet. Who was that? That was Arma Rahman. They're both really funny. That's it. Nazim is now the more famous. In the early days, I think Arma Rahman got a bit more profile, but subsequently Nazim Hussain has become more popular. But it was really funny. They were in the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Again, really white show. But the night I went there, they were making jokes about like all their family was there, and they were making jokes about the white people in the audience were the minority, and I can see your pale faces in there, and it was true. I was there was more brown people than white people in that audience, and they did make reference to it. But yeah, watching Set It Off. Because, okay, Dr. Abigail, you mentioned Compton. Not so much Compton, but East LA, which is another overwhelmingly predominantly black neighborhood in LA, it butts right onto Hollywood. So I don't have any cherries tonight, Safa, so it's very, very not me. Just drinking the soda water. It's very on me, but I had the 3 martini night, and I was thinking of making an old fashioned and whatnot, but I went, you know what? I am reasonably high on the Tim Smithometer, and I'm just going to be vaguely responsible, even though I'm not driving anywhere. Not having any more alcohol. It's good being, and I stress vaguely responsible, because if I talked to a doctor or any sort of medical professional, I said, "Oh no, I was actually pretty good that night. I only had 3 martinis," and like 3 martinis, that's your idea of being good? And I went, "Yeah, I was going to drink heaps more than that, but I stopped myself." I just want to see a doctor's face when I say, "Oh, if I'm being responsible, I'll only have 3 martinis." Doctor's going, "That's binge drinking. Do you know that's binge drinking?" Going, "That's not binge drinking, you fucking lightweight. Let me tell you about binge drinking. That's when you fall asleep in the middle of live streaming to people and you don't remember anything that happened." Good Lord. So we always do that. It's like, guys are, "Do you exercise?" Yeah, I exercise. Go for a walk, do that. "Do you drink alcohol?" "Oh, sometimes." "More than twice a week?" "Oh, sometimes, not that much." It's like, I'm not Irish. It's my heritage, definitely. But speaking of things I've brought up multiple times, the Irish comedian. So Tried to explain Irish drinking to an American doctor who was just mortified. American doctor, do you drink? No, not really. Not really. Wait, that's a yes no question. What do you mean? Well, we're not compared to my friends. It's just like, so fucking funny. You're missing the COVID lockdown? We can voluntarily lock down, Dr. Abigail. Still get shit delivered and whatnot. I never deleted, but I didn't. Okay, I didn't fall asleep on camera. I did. If you were really wanted to search through ones, there was one where Aidsy fell asleep on camera, like literally just midstream, just goes and is just fucking out while sitting in a chair. At least when I fell asleep, I had the good grace to walk away from the camera. Once I did it accidentally, and once I did it on purpose. And they were only about 2 weeks apart. And after doing that twice in 2 or 3 weeks, I was going, you know what? I'm going to cut back a bit. That is true. Everyone in lockdown is a different vibe. It definitely. Heidi, you've seen Aidsy Sleep standing up. I swear to God, I'm going to one day methodically go through my really old hard drives and find the video. I had a camera running where Aidsy fell asleep standing up, and it's incredible. It's something to behold that he can completely fall asleep and be standing up. It's friggin' wild. I say, okay, so Safa, party night, your favorite night of the week? Well, that's tomorrow. And I think I'll make a video about freezer martini tomorrow, which means I'll be kicking off with a freezer martini. What's this thing? Yes, lockdown was like prison for non-criminals, but did say, well, you just have to compare us to Florida, where they didn't enforce any of the fucking rules, and our death toll was like less than 10% of Florida's, and we have a greater population than Florida. That tells you everything you need to know. If you're a fuckhead who pretended COVID wasn't real, you killed tens of thousands of people unnecessarily. Justin, a lot of people can fall asleep with the lights on. That's true. Safa getting cider. Well, whatever works for you. Personally, my favorite cider that you might be able to get is called, the place that makes it is called Flying Brick. Dan's has it sometimes. They're in Geelong. Just thinking about the people from Geelong hearing me say Geelong and going, what the fuck? Geelong. Lockdown started before your birthday. I really love getting all the Facebook memory reminders, because there's little things like, oh, we're going into lockdown again. Oh, we just got out of lockdown. And it's like, oh man, that was crazy shit. And like every now and then I remember we had a fucking curfew. My God, like you weren't allowed out on the streets at night. That is wild, a fucking curfew. You know, it worked. It worked. Anyway, it's Sleepy Bobo's time now. And I'm going to go. Okay, sorry, I'm going to share this one. Ms. M Creations has shared what they're working on. And I did show the work in progress early. But again, I do love seeing creative people's work. And I'm just going to share this before going nine eyes. So this was the work in progress, doing the caricature based off the photo. So that's interesting. And this is the final product. Pretty cool. I'm going to have something like that soon. They're working on it for me now. So we'll see what's what. Even though we had some confusion about US dollars versus Australian dollars, and the exchange rate is shit at the moment. But anyway, we're working out. All right, so I'm going Sleepy Bows now. Get ready for party night tomorrow night. and we'll see how that goes. So you find people, take care, look after yourselves, and I will hopefully see you another time. But I'll say bye for now.